So you want to build a Henzie deck and you don't know where to start? Don't worry, I've got you. I'm not going to build the entire deck for you, but I'm going to give you 15 cards you should add to your next build. That way your deck can stay unique and you can feel special like your mom always said you are. So let's go. First up, we have Archpriestess Shadows. This is a 4/4 Death Touch that we can blitz out because it does cost 5 mana, and it does have backups, so we get to put a counter on a creature, and that creature gains the following ability as well. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player or battle, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Do I have any modern lovers in the audience? I hope I do, because we do have Birthing Pod. This artifact's gonna let us sack a creature, then we search our library for a creature with 1 higher converted mana cost and put it right into play, so we can sack those blitz creatures and replace them with something better. If you want your blitz creatures to stick around, there's one good option. Cauldron of Souls is a 5-mana artifact, and you can tap it and choose any number of target creatures. They each gain persist until end of turn. When they're put into the graveyard, they come back with a -1/-1 counter. The biggest problem with Blitz is we won't have a board on our opponent's turn. We can change that with Chanter Nightmare Adept. He'll allow us to discard a card and we can cast a creature card from our graveyard doing this. And on top of that, whenever a creature enters the battlefield, if it didn't come from our hand, it gets haste. If you love weird uncommons like me, you'll love Daemogoth Woe Eater. It costs 4 mana for a 7/6 and has a downside of sacking creatures during our upkeep. However, whenever we sacrifice this card, each opponent discards a card, we draw a card, and gain 2 life. Great with Blitz. Since we have to sacrifice all those blitz creatures at the end of turn, we might as well profit even more off of them with Disciple of Bolas. For 4 mana, you get a 2/1. When it enters, you sacrifice another creature. When you do, you gain X life and draw X cards, where X is that creature's power. My favorite card in my personal Henzie build is Gamekeeper. It's a 4 mana 2/2, which sounds terrible. However, when it dies, you can exile it. If you do, you reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a creature card and put that straight onto the battlefield. A 1 mana discount with Blitz is not enough for me. I need more discounts. That's why we use Goreclaw, Terror of Call Sisma. Creature spells with power 4 or greater cost 2 less to cast, and it gives all of our big beaters trample and +1/+1. Since this deck is all about cheating creatures out at a cheaper cost, we might as well run Ilharg the Raise Boar. It's a 6/6 for 5 mana with trample, and if we blitz this out and it attacks, we can sneak another creature into a play, tapped and attacking. We also have another great way to keep our blitz creatures around. That's Mikaeus the Unhallowed. This zombie cares about non-human creatures because they have Undying and get +1/+1, so when we sack them the blitz, they're going to come back with a counter. We can also focus on the haste aspect of this deck with cards like Agnes, the Dragon's Lash. This Jund legendary creature has haste, and whenever a creature you control with haste attacks, you get to make a treasure token, so we're going to have a ton of ramp in this deck. With Henzie, your graveyard gets completely filled with all those blitz creatures. Might as well take advantage of it with Phyrexian Delver. This 5 mana 3/2 can be blitzed, and when it enters the battlefield, you return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. You do lose life like Reanimate, but who cares? We do get some other cool ramp options because of the blitz, and that's Primeval Herald. For 4 mana, you get a 3/1 with trample, and whenever it enters the battlefield or attacks, you search your library for a basic and put it onto the battlefield tap. There is one better ramp option than Primeval Herald, and that's Seed Guide Ash. It's a 5 mana 4/4, and when it's put into the graveyard from play, you search your library for 3 forest cards and put them into play tapped, which is a huge mana burst. I love gaining as much value of a certain strategy as possible. That's why I love Stalking Vengeance in Henzie. It's a 7 mana 5/5 with haste. However, whenever another creature you control dies, it deals damage equal to its power to target player or planeswalker.